Okay, so today we're going to learn how to file an appeal for Cook County. You're at the Cook County Assessor's website, and it's cookcountyassessor.com. You're going to click on Appeals, but before we actually begin the appeal, I want to point out the calendar and deadline. If you click on this and scroll down, you're going to see Lakeview is only open until August 14th. You can file the appeal here or go back up to the top and start here. So we're going to start our appeal. What you're going to see here is a step-by-step process of how it's going to work. The main thing I want you to do now is to get your email ready. You may already have an account set up, and if you do, you can reset it. If not, figure out what you're going to do and click on Residential Appeal right here, and then you will get an opportunity to set up your account. Begin filing. And I'm not going to do this. My friend is letting me do hers, so keep it confidential, so we're going to skip. And then we proceed to this section where you put in your PIN number. So you can get it from your tax, or you can go up and look it up through the Cook County Assessor's office. So you're going to put your PIN number here and your street address. What I did wrong, and let's see if this mistake still stays in here in the editing process, I put in dashes and I'm not supposed to. So take out your dashes and put in your street address. Whoopsie, tells me I did it wrong. And then I just didn't get it. I added more dashes, but eventually I figured out my error. Okay, so I figured out my error, got rid of the dashes, and then search, and the property comes up below. So scroll down, make sure that's you, and then push Start Filing. You check these boxes, acknowledge that you've read and understand the official rules, which I did not read, but you probably should. And then once again, you're checking that this is your address, this is your PIN number, and push Next. This is a certificate of errors. If things weren't right in your property, size, stories, things like that, we are not doing that. Today, we are just appealing on the valuation of the property. So these are all the instructions on how to do this. So take a moment to read all of this. The bottom line is what we're going to try to do now is find the best comps to compare ourselves with. This is the hard part, and this is the part that takes a really long time to do, and you have to be really patient. So click Next. Here you're going to write that you are the taxpayer and the owner. So there's a drop down here on that. Go over to the right, click on that. You're a taxpayer and owner. You're going to do the same thing here. I once heard that you as a taxpayer and owner have a better opportunity to get a return versus having someone do it for you. So yeah, I think you should try it. This is where you get your name, just to make sure your name is in there. You click on those lines, not the red dot, but those three lines. And then it says, okay, this is who I am. You're going to add your phone number and your email. Again, we're going to cut this off. You guys know mine. And then this comes up. So are you a two-story? Are you a single family? I inadvertently checked that we're multi-unit here and we're not. So uncheck that. We're frame. We have central air. We do not have solar heat. Check your bedroom and bath counts here. And what this is for is this is your square footage of the building and of the land, and this is going to help you get a frame of what properties you're going to look at. So this is for comparison's sakes. So fill that out to the best of your ability and then press next. Under desired market value, you're going to put 0 because you don't know. The bottom line is your fair market value is $830,000 here, which equates to $8,300. And you're going to look for comps. You're going to check over evaluation. You're going to look for comps that are less than 83. In this explanation, comps in the area show a lower value as the reason you're asking for this to be looked at again. Check single family. If your property was purchased on or after January 2022, you had to click that here. This is the tricky part. I did this probably 3 or 4 times before I got enough properties to look at. My advice would be to exclude these if you don't get enough. Here we included them, meaning that the building range is going to be about the same time frame, the square footage is going to be about the same time frame. We do have a finished basement, but I left that out in hopes that I'd get more. And then I click, not that, oops, find comparables, which is right there. And you'll notice in this case, I only get like 3. But the other thing you're going to notice, and I've sped this up and clipped this, you have to wait a really long time to get this. It says here that it's 30 to 60 seconds. It was like 190, you guys. It took forever. So you can see how impatient I'm getting, how I'm trying and trying again. The main advice that I have here is be patient. It is not one of my traits. It's like I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and I edited this. So we got 4 comps. I didn't think that was enough, so I went here and I excluded things. Like I thought, okay, if there's a house that, might be 1920, I want to include it. Or if there's a house that had higher square footage, I wanted to include it. And then I did find comps again. This took a lot longer because there were a lot more. So then I kind of overshot it eventually because you, again, have to be patient. And as we're looking at that, you'll notice that only a few, I did have 3 that were less than 83. So I guess I could have stopped then, because then when I did this, I was like, oh, my taxes are looking pretty good because the assessed value in all of these was significantly higher. Okay, so then I went back again and kept trying to widen what I was getting. Again, I'm at 83, so 86 doesn't work for me. 93 doesn't work for me. This button didn't ever really work, and it took forever, but I found that I would click on something and then like a minute later it would adjust. But here, as you can see, I had 5 pages of results. I just need to get to the lower level ones. And look, it just changed. Nope, didn't work. So eventually I got there. So there are ways that you could also add the comps. Remember I told you to write down the PIN numbers? So you simply type in the PIN number here and then search and then add them. Once you find everything you need, you continue to add them this way. And then they'll all appear down at the bottom. Now we still only have 3. We put a ton of effort into finding more. And one of the other ways we could add them is through the criteria up front. So eventually we found quite a few properties that had similar or less bedroom count, had less square footage, and then we've added them all. Once they're added, we went and looked and made sure they all looked great, and then we pushed next, and we're almost done. None of this actually has to be filled out. It was a little confusing for a while because it says you have to add PDFs if possible, but none of this is necessary. See where it says comparable pins? It's already been done in the adding of the properties as we did it previously. So once you're done here, you click next. And before we do this, you can print a draft. So this is the PDF of what you're going to submit. So you view it, and then I would recommend saving it, rereading it, make sure everything's okay. And here are those. I'm going to show you the comps side by side. Way down here, these are the comps that you had chose. And remember how we went on and on about being less than the 83? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, all significantly less than 83. So once this is done, then we'll submit. And all you do is type in your name, your phone number, your email, and you're done.